Let's be real for a second. In today's world, your company's most important secrets aren't tucked away in some high-tech vault. Nope, they're on laptops, desktops, phones, and those devices are everywhere. So what happens when one of them just disappears? Well, that's what we're going to talk about today. The invisible fortress that stands guard, known as endpoint encryption. Okay, picture this. You're at a coffee shop, you turn your back for just a second and poof, your work laptop is gone. Your stomach just drops, right? But the real panic, the real fear, isn't about the laptop itself. It's about everything that's on it. What happens to all that confidential company data now? Well, the answer to that question really comes down to just one thing. Was it encrypted? See, if that data was unencrypted, it's basically an open book. The thief can read everything. But if it was encrypted, it's a completely different story. To them, it's just an unreadable scramble. The data has been mathematically twisted into meaningless digital noise, and it stays that way unless you have the secret key. That right there is the magic of encryption. So how do we actually build this kind of defense? We build what I like to call a digital fortress. Now, this isn't a wall made of stone and mortar. It's a powerful software shield that acts as the first and, honestly, often the last line of defense for our most valuable information. At its core, endpoint encryption is all about something called full disk encryption. And the keyword there is full. We're not just talking about locking a couple of sensitive files in a special folder. We are talking about locking down the entire hard drive. This makes everything, and I mean everything, on that device totally inaccessible to anyone who shouldn't be there. It's all about protecting your data at rest, which is just a fancy way of saying when it's just sitting on the device. And listen, this isn't some cheap bike lock we're talking about. We're talking about incredibly strong, enterprise-grade standards like 256-bit AES encryption. To give you an idea of how tough that is, it would take the most powerful supercomputers on Earth literally billions of years to guess the key. So yeah, these fortress walls are thick. And the protection is incredibly thorough. It covers the entire drive, every single partition, even the critical files the computer needs just to start up. But it gets better. It also extends to things you plug in, like a USB drive. The fortress can actually lock that down too. So even if that tiny little thumb drive goes missing, the data on it is still safe. Okay, so building a bunch of individual fortresses is a great start. But it's not really scalable, is it? You can't have 1,000 guards running around with 1,000 different sets of keys and rules. You need a central command center to manage the whole operation efficiently. And that command center is a centralized management server. It's the nerve center, the brain of the whole operation. This is where the IT security team can see everything, manage everything, and enforce the security rules for every single encrypted device in the company, all from one place. Now, to manage a system like this, you need a clear chain of command. Think of it this way. At the very top, you have the Fortress General. That's your policy administrator, the one setting the big picture security strategy. Then, for when users get locked out, and trust me, it happens, you have the Master Locksmith, which is your IT help desk. And finally, for hands-on issues on the ground, you've got your local guard captains. This whole setup is designed so that no one person holds all the keys to the kingdom. It's just good security. And from this command center, the generals get this amazing bird's-eye view of their entire digital kingdom. With just a glance at a dashboard like this, they can see exactly which devices are secure, which ones are vulnerable, and which ones are in the process of being locked down. It gives them complete visibility and, more importantly, complete control. All right, you've got your fortress, you've got your command center. What's next? Well, now you need to set the rules of engagement. A crystal clear set of laws that every single device and every single user has to follow to keep things secure. In the security world, these rules are called policies. A policy is basically a preset bundle of instructions that defines exactly how security gets applied. And this is so important because it makes sure that every device, from the CEO's laptop to the brand new intern's computer, gets the exact same level of protection. It creates a consistent shield across the whole organization. So what do these policies actually look like? Well, a really smart one might be to automatically lock a computer if it hasn't checked in with the main server in, say, 30 days. The system just assumes it might be lost. Another classic is to freeze logins after 5 wrong password attempts, which stops hackers from just trying to guess their way in. And even simple things like disabling auto logon make a huge difference by forcing everyone to prove who they are every single time. Of course, even the absolute best security system has to deal with the biggest wild card there is: us, people. We make mistakes, we forget things. So what happens when a totally authorized person just forgets the password to their own device? The system needs a safe and secure way to let them back in. And this is a really critical question. You can't make the fortress so secure that you lock out your own people, basically turning a $1,000 laptop into a brick. But at the same time, you can't just have a simple forgot password link that anyone could try to exploit. There has to be a balance. The solution is a clever process called help desk recovery. This is where our master locksmith, the IT help desk, comes into play. It's a secure, multi-step process that verifies the user is who they say they are before handing over a special one-time use key to get them back in. So here's how it actually works. When you're locked out, your screen shows a unique set of codes. Think of it like a digital fingerprint for that exact moment. You have to physically call the help desk and read those codes out loud. The admin on the other end types them into the central server, and if they match, the server spits out a single-use response key. You type that in, and just like that, you're back in. You see, this whole back and forth isn't just for show. It's what's known as a challenge response system. By requiring a real person to talk to another real person over a trusted channel, and by logging every single step of the process, the system keeps the fortress secure, even when a key gets temporarily lost. At the end of the day, all of this, the technology, the policies, the procedures, it all comes back to one core mission. This quote from the guidebook really says it all. The goal is simple: to stop data theft if a device gets lost or stolen. It's that straightforward, and it's that important. So we've built this incredible digital fortress. It's managed by a central command center. It has strict rules of engagement. It's a really powerful system for protecting our data. But it also raises a pretty big question, one that gets at the heart of security and trust. Your data might be protected by a fortress, but you have to ask yourself, who holds the keys?